Oh, hey, come in, sit down. So good to see you again. And, again, thank you so much for doing this for me. So, if you just want to get yourself nice and comfy, I'm actually today only gonna do like a head portrait. So I'm thinking maybe like shoulders up, if that's alright. Yeah? So actually you don't really have to worry about what most of your body is doing. So if you just want to go ahead and sort of like sit in a position that you're going to be comfortable in for a while. So like make sure you're nice and relaxed and comfortable. And as for your face, I'm thinking a sort of just a neutral look. So don't worry about like posing or anything. Just make sure you're nice and relaxed and mostly that you can stay still. That's all that matters. Right. Well, I think I'm pretty much ready to go. So I've got my paper, my pad, because I think I'm going to do like a watercolour painting from this sketch. So I've got it on my mixed media paper, because you know it's not going to work on canvas, so paper it is today. So let me get a clean page. There we go. This is where you're going to be. Stick that up on my easel. And then of course I have my tools. So I've got this pencil, which I'm going to use for the sketching mainly, just for getting your features down. And then this one, my nice and thick one, is a really soft pencil. So I'm going to use this part for the like shading and blending and stuff. So that's coming in later. And then of course, trusty rubber. This is the best one. So I'm almost certain I'm going to need to use it at some point, so let's have that on hand. So how about we get started? So starting with this one. And I think I'm going to start, I usually start like with the eyes and nose and like work my way out, because you know, just like sometimes if you try drawing the like shape of the face first, you can sort of just like you have the outline and then maybe it's not quite right, and then you try and put the features in it and maybe they're not in the complete right place and you have to redo everything. I feel that working from the inside out makes it easier to like keep everything in proportion. And then if you put something in the wrong place, you only have to rub that last thing out, you know? It's good. So I'm actually going to start with the bridge of your nose. Excuse me. I think because you're pretty like front on to me, I know there's not that much to do here. You can't really see that much yet, but I'd just like to get in the sort of proportions of like eyes to nose first. You've got such great shaped eyes. That's why you're perfect for this. Okay. Also, the eyes are always my favourite part to do. So I like to start with that to keep the morale up. Let's get on to just the basic shape of your left eye. No, wait. Your right eye. My left. this early on. I knew I'd need it. So I think at this point I'm just going to do the sort of the basic outline part, and then I'm going to do all the shading and stuff after I finished everything. So I really don't have that much to do here yet. So let's move up to our eyebrows, shall we? This part's relatively easy because I just get to, you know. But also, eyebrows are one of those things where, like, if you do it a little bit wrong, it's really noticeable because, like, the whole expression on the face changes. So I'm really trying to get them right. Doesn't look right. Hang on. Just gonna do that right eyebrow one more time. Okay, that looks better. So, put your eyes and your eyebrows, and I think from there I can do the edges of your, like, temples, because then I've got like a proportional width of your head. And then I've got something to build from for the rest of the head. I can then sort of move up to your hairline for it. But then again, hairline is never really that harsh. You're really just drawing the hairs coming up from it, or like the ones that lie over it. It's not like it's like a line. So I'm just sort of tracing out right now where it lies more than drawing it on. Okay, I think I'm going to do the rest of your face before I move on to hair though, so I'm going back down now. So let's do the rest of your nose, shall we? But I never really got the top there. Especially for a drawing like this, where you're just looking at me front on. Noses are pretty much all in the shading, like, you just don't really have any very harsh lines except for the nostrils. So from here to here, you just gotta stick in shadows until it looks right. So for now, I'm just focusing on your nostrils, really. It's the part that I can see you best. feel like it's really easy with noses to make them too like long or short, like to make sure that they're right length of distance from the eyes is quite hard. I think I have it though. But I bet it'll get to the point where you've done the whole face and then you look at it again and you're like, actually maybe it is wrong. Then you have to remove whole half of it. Fingers crossed that won't happen today. So, from there, let's move onto your like philtrum, and then from there we can get your mouth in. I find mouths to be the hardest part. It's the bit I'm worst at, so you have to be patient with me for this one. But I do appreciate that you've got your mouth closed, because that is the absolute worst part. I am bad at drawing teeth. I think most people are bad at drawing teeth maybe, but it's just like it's difficult. They just never look right. So I'm always very happy when someone has their mouth closed and I don't have to deal with it. I feel like the shading is going to really help on this part. So, just because again with your lips, like you can sort of outline the top and the middle and the bottom, but all the shape comes from the shading of it and like under the lips and everything. So, I'm gonna go ahead and do your chin. So now I can sort of do the rest of the shape of your face, the outline. So I'm just trying to get your jaw right. Not too square and not too thin. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. It's not very detailed yet, but I've kind of got the rough proportions of your face down, I think. Except your like neck and your ears. Your hair. I'm on the inside still. Okay, so how about, yeah, let's do the neck now, because then we can connect it to that jaw that I just did. Got something to work from. And like the neck's an easy part, thankfully. I guess I'm gonna do to like here, so I'm just going to do like the top of your shirt as well, just like the neckline. And then like the shape of your shoulders. Nice. So I think we're just missing your ears and your hair now. I'm going to do the ears first. I feel like my ear anatomy skills have really improved since I started getting like ear piercings, because like now I know what all the parts are and I know to put them all in. Makes it easier for me to recognise what parts I've done, what parts I haven't. But I guess also like that is the thing that a lot of like classic artists would do, is like really study anatomy, because then if you want to like conjure something from your mind instead of from life, and even like when you are doing it from life, you know exactly like how it would really look. Okay, that sounds silly, but you know what I mean. So like, you know where each muscle needs to lay and like what they would look like tensed in certain positions, and you know, having a good knowledge of human anatomy just makes it way easier to get it down, you know. Okay, so last up, your hair. Just sort of trying to get the general direction of the strands in at the moment. Okay. So I think that's sort of all of your rough proportions done. So now I'm going to try and go into a bit more detail in each part, and I think I'm also going to go ahead and use my shading pencil. Forgot the word for a second there. Just because with this one, like, because it's really soft, you can just make some marks, and then when you rub it, it blends out into just like a smudge, which is peaceful. Okay, so I think I'm going to start with like the shading around your face. So like the parts that make it look 3D, rounded, more than just like pancake. So let's get started with that, shall we? So it's predominantly probably around your cheekbones and around your forehead. And then on the nose. Okay. I'm gonna do a bit more detail on the eyes, I think, and then I'm gonna shade the sockets and the eyelids and stuff like that. Try to make sure I've got the width of your eye right. I think it's maybe a bit too short. So I'll just pull it out a bit there. That's better. Okay. So there's quite a heavy shadow here, where your eye socket is around the bridge of your nose, between the eyebrow and the nose. And there's a little bit of shadow just underneath your eye, just where your lower eyelid is. And of course, your actual eyeball has a shadow because it's round, obviously. So sort of the inner and the outer corner of the eye, part that you can't forget. Okay. Let's do the same for your other eye as well. Okay, coming along. Gonna do a bit of shading sort of between your eyebrows and your temples, because there's that little sort of indent here. Let's put that in. And actually, now that I've got all this shading, I think I want to strengthen your eyebrows a bit, because they've sort of got lost amongst the shadows. So I'll just make sure I got those down right. I feel that's something that I do quite a lot. It's I'll start drawing out really light-handedly, and then as I start shading everything, I have to go over it all again to make it darker, because it sinks into the shadows. gonna sort of colour in your irises a bit because they're also a bit too pale. And then, now that they're a bit darker, I have to make, you know, sort of like the, I don't know what it's called, the like edge of your iris, you know, there's like a black line. Gotta make that darker to stand out a bit more. And then like you have a little bit of like kind of a shadow under your eyelashes, like on your iris there's a shadow from your eyelashes. So you gotta add that as well. Yeah, and then they just look like way more real. It really makes a difference. And of course, let's add some nice eyelashes. You've got such nice eyelashes. Jealous. Okay. Right, your eyes are looking nice. So, scary part, let's do the nose shading now. This is where it all comes in. Okay. Start with the shading around the like tip of the nose, because it's easier. Okay. This is one thing that's actually pretty useful, is that like, especially with the front on nose, but also just anywhere that you have a highlight really, is that to make it nice and smooth, I like to just sort of shade out the whole area and then like carve the highlight out with the rubber. Makes it look nice and natural. I'm actually quite impressed that I did that. I think it looks really good. Okay, I think I do need to define your nostrils a bit more though again, where the shadow has overwhelmed them a little. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so mouth. Well, there's some shadows like under your nose and where your philtrum is and like your cupid's bow, so let's do those. Just to make sure we've got some shape. Okay, now your lips. Okay. God, I used the wrong one. I was wondering why it wasn't blending that well. I tend to find that I have to try pretty hard to not make the lips look too like cartoonish, you know? There's a fine line. again, I'm gonna do the little rubber thing. Find a corner that's small enough. Just to sort of highlight like the shine on your lower lip, like where it's rounded, so you have that little shine. I feel like it just really brings it just to the next level. Makes it look good. Alright, so chin shadows. It's not that difficult. You've got like the shadow under your lip, and then like at the corners of your mouth, and a little bit here. Yeah. So I think I need to do quite heavy shading on your neck, so that's next. Just like the shadow from your jaw. So please excuse my staring. My posture's always at its worst when I'm doing something like this. I'm like, I really have to remind myself to sit up straight. There's also like a bit of a shadow where the neckline of your shirt meets your neck, so it's at that one end. Okay, I think I've done your neck too thick. Sorry. Let me correct that. Yeah, okay, that's definitely better. I'm not going to put too much detail, I think, into your shirt, because I'm probably just going to wash that out when it comes to the actual painting. Just make it like one colour, plain, for the ease of my hands, my brain. So let's focus now on your hair and get that looking nice and 3D. I'm going to start up at the crown. like a fine line between a nice like piece of hair and just like a block. I'm trying to find it. I think that this one might be another one where the rubber's going to come in handy, so you can sort of edge out some of the shine on it to make it look a bit more 3D. I feel like we're almost done. It's looking pretty good. There are just a couple like little things that aren't quite right. Well, that could use some more detail, I think. See what is for one. Let's just make sure we get those in right. Okay, so start to get that feeling, you know, when you've looked at it for too long and then you can't really like see it anymore. So I'm just gonna look at you for a bit and then look back and hopefully I'll see like the starkest differences. This is why it's always good to like if you're working on a drawing or something and you've been doing it for ages and you're kind of struggling, it's just to like take a 20-minute break, go away, come back, and then when you look at it fresh for the first time, you're like, oh my god, here's all the things that are wrong. Okay, so okay. We have some little things to fix, but nothing big. Just like some little parts about the like shape of your eyes. I think that like angle is a little bit off, so let's fix that up. That's way better. Okay. Oh, are we done? Oh, they're highlights. No. Okay. This bit's fun. These parts are the most fun because it feels like you're doing like really minimal work and then it just looks way better. Anyway, it's satisfying. But I've got to make sure I don't overdo it though. It's just a finishing touch. I think that's it. Yeah, okay. I'm happy with that. Yeah, okay, so I think we are done for today. So, you know, feel free to move around now and shake out and all that. And thank you did a really good job. So nice and still. And I think it actually looks really cool. So I'm excited to do the next part, the painting. And yeah, once again, thank you so much for your help. It is invaluable, I hope you know. And I'll see you next time. Hope you have a nice day.